Okay, I'm gonna get started. I was having a little. It seems like every time I get on here, I have some connection problems. But first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to y'all about Shimmy on Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and also like to give honor to the Octam that's out here pushing his truth and sincerity to the four corners. Just want to say shalom. And what I'm talking about today is how to recognize the ungodly man or ungodly woman. You know, we know the things that are godly, and those things that are godly are the things of the law, you know, which we're supposed to obey. Okay? And if a person want to debate you against doing the right thing, you know they're an ungodly person. And, you know, these ain't my words coming. These are words of the scripture I'm going to read to you. So I'm not going to keep talking about what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about what the scripture's talking about, and I'm going to get into it. And this come from the Wisdom of Solomon, from the King James 1611, the Wisdom of Solomon, and this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 1, and it says, "For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave." And when they said this, they was talking about the Messiah. So if you be on Facebook and you follow the Hebrew Israelites, you know, the brothers who are out here teaching the truth, yeah, that's the truth. They teach the truth of the Bible. And when you see those that amongst us that try to deny the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahushua though, but those people, those are ungodly people. Now this comes out of the old. The old was considered the Old Testament. And I'm gonna start it again. It said, "For the ungodly have said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright." They say our life is short and tedious. You know, so they saying life is short. They said, and in the death of a man, there is no remedy. So they saying a person can't die for your sins. They said, neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. So they saying that he didn't die and come back. And came back on the third day. It said, "For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be here, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart." So he's telling you, this conversation that I'm giving you is the talk of the ungodly. They're saying they're denying the Messiah, like I said, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You know, I'm speaking his name in the Hebrew because that's the way his name was written. He was a Hebrew man, and his name is Yahushua. And it says, "Which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air." These are their beliefs. And it said, "And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beam of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof." And then it says, "For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again." So not only did these ungodly people deny the Messiah, they denied that of the reincarnation. They denied everything. So, but we know that this thing that these ungodly people believe in is not true, because the scripture says the total opposite of what he just said. You know, and this is what Solomon was saying. This is what the ungodly people say, and this is their take on everything. And we see these same people every day on Facebook, YouTube, scoffing, denying the Messiah, Old Testament only. You know, they don't believe in the entire Bible. So, and this is how they think. But now you heard what this is what they think. Now I'm gonna tell you what the scriptures say. This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. It said, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun." Now, a lot of people won't understand what that means, but I'm going to break it down for you. Okay? It said, "The thing that hath been is that which shall be." And this is talking about reincarnation, period. You know, and this is King Solomon, the same one that I just read from at first. He was talking about how the ungodly think. Okay, and this is what he said about reincarnation. He said, the thing that have been is that what shall be. So the person that you always been, when you die and you come back through the spirit of Yahweh, you're going to be that same person. You won't be able to change from who you are. If you was wicked, when you come back again, you're going to be wicked again. And when you die and you come back again, you're going to be wicked again. So we've all walked this planet many times before. And let's get to the next part. So it said, the thing that have been is that what shall be. You know, which means that the person that you've always been is the person that you will always be every time you die and you come back. And it said, and that which is done is that which shall be done. Which means that the way you lived your life, your character, your personality, your beliefs, your thoughts, all of that's gonna still be intact. It's gonna all be there. You're gonna be the same exact person, you know, doing the same exact things. You know, your works, the things that was done, is the same things that you're going to do every time you come back. You know? And why? It said because there is no new thing under the sun. So there's nothing new. Everything is a cycle. Everything in life is a cycle. When just look at it. When you put seeds in the ground and you grow a plant, and it grows to adulthood, and right before fall, they call it fall because that's when the seeds come out and they fall on the ground, and then the leaves wither away. It leaves behind his descendants. That's his descendants. The next generation of that same plant gonna come back. Okay, it's a cycle, and then they're gonna stay in the ground. And when the summer comes, those are gonna grow. And then when it's time for him to drop his, he's gonna drop his seeds. You know, and like that. So it's all a cycle. It's a cycle, and that's what life is. You know, and so it says. It says, and this is verse 10, it says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old times, which was before us. So everything that you did in your past life, you're doing again right now. The same person that you are now, you was from the beginning. And this is how, if you look into the scriptures, this will give you the understanding of how the Most High chose his people. Remember in Jeremiah, he said, before you were born in the womb, I knew thee and ordained thee a prophet to the nations. And you ask yourself, how is that possible? Because the person that you were from the beginning is the person that you're going to always be. And he knew that. So he chose you then. Because he knows you're not going to change, because it's impossible for them to change. He's the one who made us. So he knows how it goes. So he put this scripture out here so that we can understand the cycle of life. You know, you might hear people say, I'm a changed man, like me. People know I didn't live the way I live now. People know I didn't teach the word when I was younger, you know. And the reason for that is you got to understand in Deuteronomy, I never changed. I just woke up out of my strong delusion and went back to being who I've always been. This is the person I've always been. But in Deuteronomy 28, he put a strong delusion on all of us, on all of Israel. And when we went into captivity, this is how we was able to endure this punishment through captivity. But in these end times, he said, though I know they are a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. And this is what we're doing right now. We'll remember ourselves. So let me get back to it. It says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us. So it's letting you know right there that the person that you have always been is the person the one person you is now. You've always been this way. And if you die and come back 3 generations from now through your father's bloodline, you're going to still be the same person doing the same thing. And it says, it have already been of old time, which was before us. So the godly man knows when we die, we come again through the line of our fathers. And then it says, and I'm gonna go back to Songs of Solomon and continue reading from where I left off. And I just threw that in there to show you the difference between what Solomon said to ungodly people, how they think, and this is how you recognize an ungodly person, because they're going to deny the scriptures. These are the same people that you'll show them the scripture, you'll say, no, brother, the scripture says, you know, a man should not wear that which pertaineth to a woman, and a woman should not wear that which pertaineth to a man. And he'll say, well, that was the Old Testament, it's done away with. But I love God. How do you love God? The scripture says, if you love me, keep my commandments. And his commandment was that a man should not wear that which pertaineth to a woman, and a woman should not wear that which pertaineth to a man, right? I mean, it's simple. If a woman put on a pair of jeans, right? A pair of jeans got a zipper on there. the purpose of a zipper is so a man can take his penis out without pulling his whole pair of pants down and use the bathroom. So when a woman wears a pair of pants, what the fuck does she need a zipper for? That shows you she's wearing a man's garment. Those are a man's garment. And back in the days, they were called breeches. It's in the scriptures, you know. But if you don't know, I'm gonna teach you today. And it says, and then this is the ungodly people, you know, continuing to talk, and I'm gonna show you how he prophesied the murder of the Messiah and how these people plotted, how he knew that they was gonna plot to destroy and kill the Messiah when he came. They was denying him before he even showed up. You know, he was being prophesied all throughout the Old Testament that this Messiah will come. The man that y'all call Jesus. His name is Yahushua. And he did come. And these things did happen. Now, I'm going to prove it to you. It said, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. So, they're telling you just what the white man is doing right now today, is using up all the natural resources and everything, to the point where, you know, we don't have nothing left, you know. It says, let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. They said, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. It says, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble and found to be nothing worth. So they don't care about the poor, the feeble, the elderly. They just want to live for the now and fuck over everybody. This is the ungodly man, okay? And you know this is direct violation of law. You know how we supposed to treat our people. You know the scriptures tell you that we're not supposed to do things like what's being said in here. And let me continue. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. So they lay in wait and they seek out righteous men who want to teach the right and teach the truth. You see this, like I said, you see this every day on Facebook and YouTube. You put out some truth, and here come a scoffer trying to come and because you're cutting him with the scriptures, and he's living a certain way, it's bothering him. So he's going to lay in wait to see whoever comes out with this truth, so they can try to attack the truth. And this is just what the scripture is saying right here. It said, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings, and he upbraided us with our offending the law. Common sense. It said, an objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of Yahweh, and he called himself the child of the Lord. Now, who called himself the Son of God? The Messiah, right? He said he had, and he claimed to have knowledge of the Most High, right? Because he came from him, right? Okay. That's the Messiah he's talking about. I'm going to go further. He was made to reprove our thoughts. What did the Messiah come? He came to teach us the truth and the error in our ways, to reprove our thinking, just like what he said, and to die for the sins of the righteous. And they say he is grievous unto us, even to behold. So his presence was so powerful, you know, that a wicked man can't even stand in his presence, you know. And it says, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. And then it says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. So, yeah, the righteous and the meek shall inherit the earth, which will be the kingdom of heaven. Yes, that's true. That's true. That is true. And these words bear witness. And then it says, let us see. I'm going to go back up. So he said, he pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. So they already plot to kill this man. You know, so these people, they saying if the Messiah died for you, we're going to see in the end. Because they didn't believe in the Messiah. Not only did they not believe in the Messiah, they already told you if this man is so supposed to be the Son of God, watch, we kill him. Basically, is what they were saying. And this come once again. The scripture come out of Song of Solomon, so you know it was way before the Messiah. Okay, this was King Solomon talking. You know, Yahushua is a direct descendant of King Solomon. You know, so it says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death. And they did shame him. They shamed the Messiah. They killed him, and they killed him publicly. You know, they killed him publicly. They condemned him and they shamed him. You know, they say, let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. So they was going to plot to kill him, and such things, you know, that they were doing. They didn't even understand, man, what they, you know, that this man, because they were ungodly. And you recognize these people, man, because they deny the truth. You know, we've been taught a certain thing in our lifetime, man. All the people that's on my Facebook, all the people that's on my YouTube, the people that I walk around and see every day, is mostly the people that I grew up with all my life. And we grew up a certain way. We grew up to respect the Most High God and go to church, right? You know, but sometime in your life you're going to realize, that the Most High, the truth is in the book. You can't let a false prophet teach you the truth. And you're going to find false prophets in church buildings. That's where you're going to find them at, because they're going to take your money and they're going to teach you a lie. They're going to tell you saved and sanctified. If you saved and sanctified, then what the fuck are you doing here? If you saved and sanctified, you're supposed to be living right. You're supposed to be in the kingdom. And why is you waiting on a Savior if you already saved? I mean, some things just don't make sense coming out of people's mouth. But when you're caught up in a strong delusion, you don't see all of that. That's why they put us out here to wake up people. That's why you see us standing on the streets looking like this. People talk about us, but we're out there preaching the truth of the Most High. So, you know, so they was going to plot to kill him. Okay, now I'm going to go back into it and say, such things did they imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. Just what I just said. You know, the delusion, to be blinded, to believe a lie, you know, and to go against the very truth that the people out here preaching. It says, as for the mysteries of Yahweh, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. So they didn't give a damn. They didn't want to know what's righteous. They took pride in living the way they was living. It felt good to do these wicked things because they were so used to doing them. And the Most High didn't open their eyes because they were wicked. They was wicked from day one. See, some people just do wicked things, and some people are wicked. Okay? The people that do wicked things are more than likely righteous people. The scripture said a righteous man falls 7 times. So because you see somebody do something wrong or used to live wrong, but now they live right, them people have woken up out of their delusion, man, and they're trying to do the right thing. And will they mess up? Yeah, they'll mess up, you know. But will they get back up and try to do what's right? Yes, they will. And the scriptures bear witness to that. So it says, for Yahweh created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through the envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. So people that follow the ways of the wickedness, you know, death, they're gonna find death. And what is death? Death is the grave. Death is being blind to the love of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Because, you know, if you pass away in this mortal flesh, that's nothing, because you're going to come back. Because you got to understand, the scriptures say, when we die, our flesh turns back to the dust from which it was formed, and our spirit goes back to he who gave it. So your spirit never dies. Like I told you in the reincarnation, it's recycled. It comes back through your line of your fathers, generations after. You know, you'll come back. And you won't remember, like the scripture said, you won't remember the former things. Neither will you remember. Hold on, let me go to that scripture. It's Ecclesiastes, I think it's 1 and 10. Let me see. Because I was reading it, and I think, yeah, I think this is 1 and 10. It says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have already been, hold on. It says, is there anything wherever it may be said, see, this is new. It have been already of old time, which was before us. So these things that we are doing, we've done before. And we'll do again if we come again. It said, there is no remembrance of former things, so you won't remember your past life. You know? And I'm going to say this, right? You got kids. I'm going to give you some truth right here. You ever have a child, and when that child was a baby, I'll say from anywhere from newborn to 3 or 4 years old, that baby remembers his past life for a small spell. And this is how he is guided into doing what's right and what's wrong. You ever hear people say, this baby done been here before? Yeah, they have. They have. They truly have. They've been here before. You know? And then when they grow and they get to be 4 and 5 years old, they start to forget their past lives. So the scriptures say you won't remember your past lives. So while you a babe, you are remembering glimpses of things that you did in your past life, and this is how you are able to adapt to living on a planet, period. You know, this is how it's easy for your mom and your dad to teach you to not pee on yourself, to eat, to if you touch something that's hot, you know, things like that. And so it says, like I said, it says, there's no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those who shall come after. So it's not going to change. It go for you and it go for me, you know. And the cycle goes on when in the future. When you die and you come back, you won't remember the end either. That's what the scriptures is telling you. You know, you can't. And the point of it is that, you know, it's a cycle. You know, it's a cycle. So an ungodly person is not going to believe that. According to what I read you from Songs of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1, all the way down. The whole chapter. An ungodly man is not going to believe those things. You know, and this is how you recognize them. They're going to deny everything that's truthful in the scriptures. You know, you're going to see people that are going to say, I don't believe in the Old Testament. Then you're going to have some people say, I don't believe in the Apocrypha. All of this was part of the original Bible. And then you're going to hear some saying, I don't believe in the New Testament. There's only one God. You're right. Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus, is not God. He's the Son of God. He tells you this all through the scripture. He always say, these are not my words, but my Father's. I was sent by my Father. And how do you, in your delusion, come up with the fact that this man is God? He's telling you all through the flick he's not God. The same way that these Christians tell you, the law's done away with. When he tells you clearly in the scriptures that he did not come to destroy the law of the prophets, he came to fulfill. If I fulfill something, that means I've completed it. That means I've done it. To fulfill means to do or to complete, you know, a task. You know, he come to do a certain thing. And what he come to do? He came to show us the truth, show us the law is good, and that it can be done. Because they boasted that the law couldn't be done, it was too hard. And he came to die for our sins, you know. So there's a lot of people that don't understand what's really going on with the scriptures. So with that, man, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And I also like to give honors to the Akim that's out here on these streets day in and day out, man, pushing this truth and sincerity to the four corners. I just want to say shalom and shalom.